Good evening and welcome to Oakwood FC for tonight's Under-13s Mid-Sussex Youth Football League Plate Final between Withdean Youth and Cuckfield Cosmos. The Red and Black of Withdean, managed by John Sutton, beat ASC Strikers 2-1 in the semi-final to be here today, as well as an 8-0 and a 2-1 win versus Poets Corner and Three Bridges along the way. As for the Yellow and Black of Cuckfield, they clinched a spot in the final after dispatching Crawley and then Maidenbower by 4 goals to 2. They also registered an 8-0 victory on their way to the final against Telscombe Raiders, as well as a 6-0 win against their club rivals Cuckfield Cosmos United. Let's take a look at the squads for tonight's game, starting with Withdean. In the starting lineup are Manny Reek, Harry Platel, Theo Purser, Jensen Fairclough, Charlie Cartoni, Jack Wells, Zach Tobin, Ali Renzo Novelli, Max Rogers, Peter Roberts and Captain Ralphie Browning, and on their bench are Jack Ducot, Luke Gaffney, Freddie Bond and Jesse Sutton. For Cuckfield, Dan King, Finley Horgan, Kieran Barton, Sam Kay, Louis Matthews, Sam Rees, Riley Hemmerich, Luca McIntyre, Archie Nicholas, Thomas McElveny and their captain Daniel Farrell. The substitutes are Matteo Spadero, Nicholas Carter and Lex Duffy. Tonight's officials, the man in the middle will be Elliot Atkins, who will be assisted by Louis Tillman and Sam Webster, with Ian Kalania as the fourth official. As the teams just received their pre-match handshakes, and now the two sides will shake hands ahead of this cup final. It's a breezy night here at Oakwood.
One more reminder that the photos will be...
A reminder that this is the first year that these boys will have played 11-a-side football, moves up from the 9-a-side game at under 12s to full 11-a-side game. And they'll be desperate to get their hands on that trophy this evening. The rain holding off for now, but certainly breezy and will make for interesting conditions for the game, as both teams receive their official photos to remember this occasion. Great day and great memories for all involved here today. And a reminder that it will be 35 minutes each way here this evening, and if the scores are level after 70 minutes we will have extra time, which will consist of 2 10-minute halves, and if the two teams still can't be separated by that point we will have penalty kicks. I'm sure neither team will want it to go to those lengths. They'll hope to get it done inside the regulation 70 minutes. As the two captains go to contest a toss, that's Daniel Farrell just joining the 4 guys in the middle there, the captain of Cuckfield Cosmos, and then Ralphie Browning, the captain of Withdean. Ralphie Browning will be hoping for some luck here at the coin toss, and the programme, his manager has said that he is not particularly good at rock, paper, scissors for the toss, so we'll see how this one goes, if he has any luck on his side from the beginning, or will it fall for Daniel Farrell. And by the look of it, looks like the Cuckfield Cosmos won the toss, and they will kick off. It's going to be Cuckfield Cosmos to get us underway, kicking from right to left in this first half, lining up with a 4 at the back formation. We wait to see how they'll line up offensively. It looks like a back 3 or 5 for Withdean. There's Finley Horgan, the left back, feeds it forward and tries to find Luca McIntyre, and prodded back towards his own goal by Charlie Cartone. And there'll be a free kick deep inside his own territory for Harry Platel, who'll just look to send this one forward, but slightly misjudges it, and the ball just drops in front of the small crowd that's gathered here at this evening's game to support their friends and family, as Rees sets it right and finds Archie Nicholas, and Matthews there just getting beaten to it by Peter Robert. Oh yeah, a slight miss kick there, and then a coming together of bodies, and referee just waves play on as Ali Renzo Novelli sets it to his teammate, and Captain Daniel Farrell just battling for a challenge there, but away come Cuckfield Cosmos on that far side, but not for long, as Ralphie Browning, the Withdean captain, makes the challenge. And then Jensen Fairclough there just nicking it off a yellow shirt to win the throw-in for his side. And as the free kick is taken and intercepted, and it's a slight midfield battle there as the ball finally lands at the feet of a Withdean player. McIntyre plays into midfield for Louis Matthews, who hooks it forward, and underneath it was Riley Hemorick, but he's adjudged to have fouled his man. Here's Peter Roberts trying to skip past a number of players there, but the interception came in from the Cuckfield number 99, Kieran Barton. As Withdean look to try and build their first attack of the game here on that far side, and trying to get past his man was Jack Wells. He looked for a free kick, I think there. Looked a little bit of a anguish as he looked back towards the referee Elliot Atkins. Nothing doing, and it's going to be a throw-in to Cuckfield. And it'll be Daniel Farrell who's going to try and relieve some territorial pressure on his side. And he's managed to do just that. His long throw just nodded out of play by Charlie Cartoni of Withdean. Browning sets it, but that's a good challenge from Riley Hemmelrick. But neither side really able to settle into an elongated period of possession thus far. As the management teams on the far side watch on. And the ball is played forward towards Max Roberts, who takes a tumble to the floor on the challenge, and it's almost threaded forward. And now here is Roberts again, but again Daniel Farrell is there to marshal the Withdean forward. And then Louis Matthews fouls Max Roberts right on the halfway line, and that'll be a free kick for Withdean to take. Here's Browning. Now Wells into midfield, where Charlie Cartoni can retrieve it, and then he does well in the second challenge, but the throw-in does go his way. And there'll be Jensen Fairclough on that left-hand side, who just skips past the man really nicely. Well played from Fairclough, and comes through here to Roberts, who looks left, and he's maybe a great chance here for Withdean. Ali Renzo Novelli set it, and he still has it here inside the area, but good cover. And then it's Charlie Cartone who was trying to deliver there, but just got a little bit wrong, and it goes out for a goal kick that Daniel King will be pleased to have and get his first few touches on the ball. King into midfield, where he finds Luca McIntyre, but a slightly loose bit of play there, and it's delivered in towards Peter Robert there, and it's might break through to him. He's in here, Peter Roberts. Oh, what a chance and what a save. Great defending as well back there. Not quite sure who it was making the challenge, but really good goalkeeping from Daniel King there to keep composed in front of Roberts. And now Cuckfield Cosmos come down the other end. It breaks here to Louis Matthews, who prods it towards goal, and down the other end it's Manny Rigg who makes a save himself. But the first couple of real chances there for either side. A good head forward by Renzo Novelli. As Hemmelrick is barged to the floor, but tries to squeeze the pass around the corner, but just goes out of play on the near side. As Daniel Farrell barks instructions for the Cuckfield Cosmos. Away comes Matthew, searching for Archie Nicholas, but across well was Jensen Fairclough. And now number 66, Sam Kay, just helps it forward. And a good press on that side, and it's Archie Nicholas who finds Louis Matthews. He goes for goal, and finds the side netting. But he's looked a live wire so far as Louis Matthews, and he almost opened the scoring for the yellow and black of Cuckfield Cosmos there. But can only find a side netting with Manny Rigg's goal. As Rigg looks to play out from the back, but he's just overcooked that pass over towards Fairclough, but in goes Cartone, who finds Roberts. And that's a nice little touch around the corner from the Cuckfield number 7, Luca McIntyre. It's Stan Rees who goes for goal from range, I think, and Manny Riggs has to watch that one in the wind. But gets things underway quickly by rolling it out to his centre half. That's a nice crunching challenge from Riley Hemorick there. Harry Platel, the man taking the second throw-in in quick succession for Withdean, moved up to midway through the Cuckfield half, but retrieving it well is Ralphie Browning, who just clips one forward, but it's intercepted by Matthews, and now Cuckfield might look to break with Archie Nicholas, who prods it right, trying to find Thomas McElveny. But I think Jack Wells is just going to see that one out of play on that far side, and then leave it for his fellow teammate Jensen Fairclough. Here's Matthews again trying to find Thomas McElveny. This time they win a throw, and it's in towards Luca McIntyre. Tries to take it down inside the area, but it's cut out, and then it's set all the way into the edge of the box, and it's a fairly tame effort in the end from Archie Nicholas, who looked to wrap his foot around it towards goal, but didn't quite catch it how he would have liked to. As Manny Riggs helps it forward and tries to find Peter Robert, trying to bulldoze his way through the defence. He's got it back in, he might be racing away on goal here. Great chance, Peter Roberts! It's 1-0 Withdean. Peter Robert had a chance earlier on. He couldn't finish that one, but my, has he finished this one. Racing through the middle, bared down on goal, and he slotted it past Daniel King with ease. Nothing the Cuckfield Cosmos keeper could do. And it is 1-0 to Withdean, thanks to Peter Robert.
Opening goal for Withdean, scored in the 11th minute by number 17, Peter Roberts.
Novelli. Daniel Farrell clears, but can only find a Withdean shirt, and it's helped back towards goal, but it's not going to trouble the keeper on this occasion. Jack Wells it was, taking the first time effort from range. As King takes his kick, but only finds a red shirt in Ralphie Browning. And now Cartoni tries to prod it forward. And now McIntyre, but he's just about managed to hold on to possession there. Max Roberts it was who went to ground. And now Cartoni looks for the forward pass towards Peter Robert. The offside flag did go up on the near side, but I think the referee is just going to play advantage. And now here's Archie Nicholas running away down that right hand side, and I think he's going to win a corner there. He has. There you go, Jensen Fairclough, who just managed to get a foot in on Nicholas. And it's going to be the first corner kick of the game, and Luca McIntyre the one trotting over to deliver, as Cuckfield search for an immediate response to going behind. McIntyre delivers it low, and it's in towards Matthews, and it's eventually cleared away. Cartoni, I think it was, clearing it. But here is McIntyre again. Tries to skip past his man, but unable to do so, and away comes Peter Robert again. He's got some serious pace, has Peter Robert. ball played down the line, and it's retrieved by Wells, but under pressure from Thomas McElveny. Sends up, going out for a throw-in to Cuckfield. Browning hooks it forward, and Robert goes up to contest, and it falls for Cartone, who tries to squeeze the ball forward to one of the forwards, but the pass is cut out, and away come Cuckfield. It's with Riley Hemmelrick trying to set through Archie Nicholas, who might have a hard job trying to catch up with this one, and in the end he does run out of space as the ball just trundled away from the forward. Interesting to see two number 66s in both squads today. One on the right hand side of Cuckfield's defence, Sam Kay, and then the other at centre half, Theo Purser for Withdean. You certainly imagine that's the influence of a certain Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. As Farrell nods it down, and it's a little bit scrappy in there, but it's eventually cleared away, but only as far as Louis Matthews, who attempts the dipping effort from range, but didn't quite dip enough and soared over the top of the crossbar. And a little excursion for Manny Rigg. A slight delay in play as we await the retrieval of a new ball. And that's a rather neon ball coming on as the floodlights come on, as light starts to fade here at Oakwood. And we are back underway as Rigg searches for Wells, who, despite his best efforts, can't quite keep that one in. And it is going to be the number 66, Sam Kay, to take the throw-in midway through the Withdean half. Eventually it's Jensen Fairclough who has to just thrash that one clear. Okay, throws it forward. It might fall here for McIntyre, but instead it comes to Louis Matthews, who finds Reese, and then played on but hacked away by the Withdean fullback. Getting confused with the similar red and black strips, but it was Harry Platel of Withdean there. Matthews tries the crossfield pass over towards Thomas McElveny, who tries to skip past his man, and he's marshalled by two Lewis defenders, Withdean defenders, who managed to get it away. And then away comes Max Roberts, but he's tackled by the number 99, Kieran Barton. Manny Rigg of Withdean just waits for the ball to settle under the wind. long ball nodded away by Theo Purser, and then number 99 again, Kieran Barton, having to deal with that one. Now Browning trying to carry the ball forward for his side, sets it to Cartoni, who threads it through to Max Roberts. Now Tobin looking out for the man who gave Withdean the opener, Peter Robert. It'll be a yellow throw-in on the far side for Sam Kay to pass on to Daniel Farrell to take. Just over 15 minutes left of this first half, and it's still 1-0 to Withdean. The opening goal scored by Peter Robert on 11 minutes after he exchanged passes with Max Roberts and raced through the centre of the penalty area to slot into the bottom right hand corner. Matthews hooks it forward, and McIntyre is sniffing around this bouncing ball here as Jensen Fairclough has to deal with it, and does well in the end, Jensen Fairclough, to avoid the initial pressure, but then the tackle came in from Riley Hemmelrick. And the ball is only half cleared really, and it's eventually hooks long, and chasing it is Peter Robert. We've seen his pace so far, and we've seen his potency in front of goal, but it's a magnificent challenge from Daniel Farrell to get back all the way and catch up with Peter Robert and make the all-important challenge. Fantastic defending from the Cuckfield captain. But every time Withdean find that ball through the middle, and Peter Robert just hanging on the shoulders of the Cuckfield defenders, waiting to race away in behind the defence. It's flicked on by Renzo Novelli, and now again played towards Peter Robert, who then contests the challenge and are judged to be a little bit too forceful on Daniel Farrell. It's been a good battle so far between them two. Daniel Farrell excelling for the most part so far, but Peter Robert, of course, with the goal to his name, will consider to be on top in that battle. As Barton plays it forward, it's cut out in the midfield, but then back towards the Withdean defence, but away by Theo Purser, and now Renzo Novelli inside, and that's a fantastic turn by Zach Tobin, absolutely brilliant from the youngster. And it will come all the way out here to Wells, who goes from range, and it's going to clear the crossbar and hit one of those cars, the unfortunate place cars behind that goal. King. His pass is cut out by Max Roberts. He's trying to take on his man, but that's really good strength from Barton to dispossess the Withdean attacker. Now McIntyre is under pressure and he's not aware of it, and Max Roberts just nicks it from in front of him. And now Gartoni delivers in towards Peter Robert, and it's cut out by Sam Kay. Then Roberts still going and wins it back, sets it to Cartoni. His touch is a little heavy, and now McIntyre can look to drive away over halfway. He prods it forward, looking for Hemmelrick. And now Browning, but his touch is heavy, but he's a little bit fortunate, and it might fall for Withdean shirt here, but the referee has just pulled it back. I think it struck the perhaps struck the referee in the process there. So it'll just be a drop ball. But looks like it's going to be a substitution here for Withdean, and off goes the goal scorer Peter Robert, and he'll be replaced by Jack Duco, I believe it is, coming on, and number 22. Who's come over onto this right hand side, which allows Ali Renzo Novelli, the number 9, to assume the number 9 role alongside Max Roberts up top. A reminder that it is roll on, roll off subs in under 13s football, so likely to see a few changes as the long ball goes through towards Roberts, and it's good defending by Sam Kay, and then Matthews hooks it away, but only as far as a red shirt Wells it was, curling one towards goal, but it's got underneath it, and an easy claim for Daniel King. Here's Cartone, tries to play through Renzo Novelli. Finley Horgan, it was making the interception, but now here come Withdean again. It's with the substitute Jack Ducot. Ball slips into the challenge, but Ali Renzo Novelli is not going to be able to keep that one in play. Barton just evades Cartoni in the midfield. And then Barton's racing away back towards his own goal, which shows good strength initially, but Renzo Novelli wins the seconds. And Cuckfield yet to really get going and realistically trouble Manny Rigg in the Withdean goal, as Matthews just lost it clear. Rick just skews his attempted clearance out of play for a throw-in that Horgan is going to take. Matthews tries to pull forward, but it's cut out by Wells, and now goes Archie Nicholas into the channel for Riley Hemmelrick, but it's cut out again, and Sam Kay will just jog over to take this throw-in on that far side. Browning, and it's only half cleared by Theo Paz. Comes back to Archie Nicholas from range, and it's just flies wide of that right hand post. Struck it first time, but just cut across it slightly and skewed it off to that right hand side. Purser plays it forward to Wells, who just loses track of where the ball was, but then slightly sloppy pass from Sam Kay. It's Cartoni, just loses out there, and it's now with Luca McIntyre, and he finds Nicholas. And cross back into the middle for Riley Hemmelrick, who takes it down nicely on his chest, but then just loses his footing as he tried to turn back inside. Fairclough into the chest of Zach Tobin in the midfield. And I think the ball did just go out of play there. I think Jack Wells just took it on himself to declare that one out of play. Browning does well to pass it around the corner to Fairclough, who then helps it forward looking for Max Roberts. Browning does well to step in and make that interception, but now Sam Rees helps it forward, and then it was Kieran Barton finding the ball out to Nicholas. Arch Nicholas, good step over and turn of pace there, and then a flick around the corner from Luca McIntyre, slightly wasteful there. You can see what he was trying to do, we just didn't quite get the execution right on that attempted flicked pass around the corner. Browning turns well, then clips the ball forward, and it's away by Farrell. Now Matthews can retrieve in the centre circle, but I think the foul has gone against his teammate Thomas McElveny. 5 minutes left here in the first half. Still 1-0 Withdean. But a well contested affair thus far. And Cuckfield will have every hope that they can level things up and get back into this, but they might have some defending to do here as the free kick is played forward, and it's eventually cleared away by McElveny, and now McIntyre can't quite hold it up, and now Purser just able to help it back to Manny Rigg, but his pass is cut out by Nicholas, and Matthews with the attempted first time pass. Now Sam Rees shows good acceleration to get past the Withdean man there, and then win the foul in a decent position for Cuckfield Cosmos. It was Zach Tobin, the perpetrator for Withdean. It looks like it's going to be Luca McIntyre to deliver this one. Plenty forward in yellow for Cuckfield. There's McIntyre. Delivers it in. That's going to be a tough one for Manny Rigg, who does well in the end to hold on to it a second time of asking, because the strike had some power on it, and he did well under pressure to clutch that one to his chest. Matthews tries to play it forward, but it's cut out by Browning, and then Purser has to take evasive action to hack it clear, but there might be a chance at the other end for Withdean. As Ali Renzo Novelli trying to latch onto the end of that pass, but across comes the ever-present Daniel Farrell, and then Jensen Fairclough just nods the former's ball forward into touch. Fairclough now played forward by Rees, and Rigg is quick off his line just to dispatch that one into touch. As we approach the final few moments of the first half. And that's with Sam Kay on that far side. And Daniel Fowler had made his way forward from centre half for that throw in, and his flick on, unable to find a teammate. In fact, it wasn't Daniel Fowler. In fact, I think it was Thomas McElveny on that far side. Bartek tries the ball through to McIntyre, but a good header from Harry Platel. But now Matthews sets it towards Nicholas, but now it's with Riley Hemmelrick. Gets past Browning nicely. Still going, Riley Hemmelrick. I think that one might just run out for a corner to Cuckfield Cosmos. Perhaps a chance late on in this first half to find the leveller. Archie Nicholas it is who's going over to take this corner. Delivers it in towards the near post, not of the way by Theo Purser, but only as far as Matthews, who juggles with it in the area but doesn't quite get the shot away. And helped forward, and it's a flick on by a Withdean head, and it's come to Sam Kay, and it might come through to Luca McIntyre on his left foot, and a couple of sliding challenges there from Withdean, but Manny Rigg kept his eye on the ball well and saved down low to his left hand side. As Louis Matthews battles well to win the ball off Zach Tobin. But now back come Withdean. It's with Cartoni. Looks into the channel for the run of substitute Jack Ducot. But that will be half time as Elliot Atkins, the referee, blows his whistle. And it is that 11th minute strike by Peter Robert that splits the two sides. So at half time it is Withdean 1, Cuckfield Cosmos 0. Welcome back to Oakwood FC for the second half of this Mid-Sussex Under-13s League Plate final. After the first 45, it is Withdean who lead by 1-0 thanks to a Peter Roberts strike after just 10 minutes. And that is the only goal in the match so far. And then Peter Roberts had to make way for a slight injury in his right foot after scoring that goal, but he's back on for this second half. And his pace has caused the Cuckfield defence some trouble, but Daniel Farrell, the captain, has impressed so far. And just a reminder that if Cuckfield Cosmos can find an equaliser in this second half, that it will go to extra time, and that will be a 10 minutes each way job, as McIntyre, who had a couple of chances in that first half but just can't quite keep that one under control. Fairclough forward towards Robert, then a smart turn by McKelvey, but it's back in with team possession. It's with Wells, who tries to use his intricate footwork to get away from his man, but just runs out of space right down in front of us here, as Sam Kate would have thrown down the line, as Fairclough clears only as far as Farrell. And now Tobin, and then Cartone being pressured by Matthews, and it comes back to Sam Rees, who tries from range but not enough on the effort to trouble Manny Rigg. And that's good pressure on that far side from Max Roberts, I think it was. Combination of himself and Jack Ducot. Helped forward. And Robert, and it's stepping in is Daniel Farrell, who's able to stride away, but we see the acceleration from Peter Roberts to come and help out. As Sam Kay tries to get forward, but Peter Robert gets under his control, and the rangy forward just unable to continue his run, as Louis Matthews dispossesses Ralphie Browning and prods it forward looking for Archie Nicholas, but evasive action taken by Theo Purser right in front of his keeper. Nodded away, and then again, but it's not quite out of trouble just yet, and now Cuckfield can collect. It's with Riley Hemmerich, and then cross into the box, and it should be nodded away by Thea Purser, and is, but only as far as a yellow shirt, and then hooked towards goal, but that one's just going to drop wide of Manny Rigg's post, and you can watch that one behind. Rigg. His goal kick makes it midway through his own half, and Louis Matthews can help it forward towards Archie Nicholas, and now Matthews retreats it back and might go for goal from range here, and it's a smart save by Manny Rigg to deny Louis Matthews the equaliser for Cuckfield Cosmos. A decent effort from the Cuckfield midfielder, and Manny Rigg did ever so well to get down and palm it away out of trouble and keep the scores at 1-0 to Withdean. But there might be a chance here from the set piece for Cuckfield Cosmos. It is a corner that Archie Nicholas is going to go over and take, and there's 6 or so bodies inside that area, and it's in towards Matthews, who perhaps inadvertently ends up getting a head on it. Not sure he knew too much about it. And then it's cleared away by Withdean as Max Roberts tries to break away, but doesn't quite manage to get onto it. But now goes away does Peter Robert. He's all on his own for now. Still running Peter Robert, but then a swarm of yellow shirts met him and did enough to stop him, as it just clips the ref there, and then Ralphie Browning goes down under a challenge. And here's a free kick midway through the Cuckfield half. Now Harry Patel standing over this one, looking like he actually wants to strike this one. It's from a good 40 or so yards, and it'll be very impressive if he can get this one on target. And the wind might cause Daniel King some trouble in the goal, so he might only need to get it on target. It's Patel, goes for it from range, and it is on target, but it was a decent save by Daniel King to keep his eyes on the ball all the way and just watch it through the wind and hold on to it. It's Patel clears forward, and Farrell, but under pressure by Peter Robert, but shows good footwork just to shift it away from him. And now Kay helps it forward. Tobin, the 2 number 8s, battling out at midfield, and it's going to be Tobin who comes out on top against Reese. And now Wells prods it forward looking for Robert, and it just cleared all the way out of the stadium there. And it's going to be Wells to take the throw in towards Cartoni, and it's going to be a throw in for Cuckfield Cosmos. It's good defending eventually from Thomas McElveny. Cartoni hooks it forward to Max Roberts. That's a really nice flick round the corner, trying to find his strike partner Peter Robert, but just got a little bit too much on the flick. McIntyre takes down the lofted ball forward, and now McElveny. Got 3 Withdean shirts around him, and eventually those 3 do manage to work together to win the ball back. But now Peter Robert threads it forward, and he's looking for a run. It might come through here to Jack Ducot, who only just slipped it around the goalkeeper, but then couldn't quite catch up with his own flick. But it did come off a Cuckfield man last, so it will be a corner. I think Dan King just thought it crossed the line for a goal kick there, but he will have this corner to deal with. As the corner comes in towards the near post, it tries to find Theo Purser, but it's cleared away. And now Barton showing good pace there to get out to it. Browning feeds it into Zach Tobin. Platel's forward pass is just cut out by Riley Hamorick in the midfield. As the ball just not really settling for either side here at the moment. Just can't quite get a hold of possession as Browning tries to bring it forward, and it's more of the same. And now Archie Nicholas will look to set away his side here, but he just chooses to keep possession, and then the bobble on the surface makes it difficult for Sam Rees. And now comes Browning, but it's McIntyre who has it now, and it's Louis Matthews. Tries to work it out towards Archie Nicholas, and then has a frustrated lunge on Zach Tobin there, giving away the foul after he was unable to retain possession. As Jensen Fairclough fires it forward, but McIntyre picks up the pieces on the left hand side, and he's joined by Barton, but Platel was there to make the interception. Platel. His throw's cut out, and then a mean bobble on the surface just almost does Ralphie Browning. And the ball does just bobble up inadvertently onto Peter Roberts' arm. Nelly Atkin, the referee, just awards a free kick for that misdemeanor. And Sam Kay has space here. Looks to skip forward, but just takes a little bit too much time on it, and then Matthews does manage to get in ahead of the Withdean man, but now Tobin almost wins the ball back, but it is helped forward, and then the ball might just run out of play. Peter Robert unable to keep up with that one. Farrell. Fairclough. Forward to Robert, who nods it inside towards Cartoni. And then thumped back towards the Cuckfield end by Ralphie Browning. As the substitutes on the far side just keep themselves warm as the temperature starts to drop here at Oakwood. But it might be a chance here for Withdean. Flick around the corner, and it doesn't quite have enough on it to find Peter Robert. Farrell it was again, coming across to intercept. And now McIntyre the other end, going to race that Fairclough here, but good communication from Theo Purser just to be loud there and tell Jensen Fairclough to lead the way for him to come across and clear that one into touch. Okay, down the line towards Thomas McElveny. Or surely a slightly high boot there on Zach Tobin from Sam Rees, but the referee didn't see anything wrong with it. As Zach Tobin just clutched his face there. Seems alright. As Browning clears away, and Farrell and Robert again battling, and this time Robert comes out on top, but his touch just too heavy. But he is that outlet for Withdean. And here's the man that's probably put in one of the better performances for Cuckfield this evening, Louis Matthews, in the centre of midfield for the Cosmos. As Cartoni helps it forward towards Robert, who tries to nod it down for a red shirt but doesn't quite manage to find one. Browning. Might come through here for Max Roberts after Peter Robert does well, and it's fired towards goal by Max Robert, but it was one that Daniel King could just watch go past his post and breathe a sigh of relief, really. Came out of almost nothing, that chance for Max Roberts. Peter Robert it was who managed to get a block in that fell for Max Robert, but he was unable to direct his effort on target. Ball just allowed to bounce there, and McIntyre squeezes it through to Nicholas, but he can't really get it under control. But away comes Louis Matthews, and he perhaps ambitiously goes for goal from all of 35-40 yards. Sam Kay just prods that one out of play with his left foot. Browning just cut out by Archie Nicholas there. Max Roberts into Tobin, but he's dispossessed well by Matthews. Withdean have it back, and it's with Ralphie Browning, but his pass out towards the right hand side is cut out. And now Cartoni looks at the ball forward towards Robert, but Peter Robert not going to be able to get on that one. Fizz forward by Charlie Cartoni, who looks like he's really got an eye for a forward pass. He's done that on a couple of occasions, looking for the run of Peter Robert. Here's Kay. Just has to put it into touch under pressure from Robert. It's a good leap from Peter Roberts, and it might fall for Charlie Cartoni there, but Louis Matthews was quick on the case to make the interception, and away comes Archie Nicholas, but good work from Ralphie Browning to make the interception. But Cuckfield trying to search for an equaliser here, and it's with Louis Matthews, who might try and break through here. Louis Matthews into the area, prods it towards goal, and what a stop that is from Manny Rigg to keep his side ahead. Fantastic stop from Manny Rigg. Louis Matthews broke into the box and prodded it towards the near post, and Rigg did ever so well to get down to it. What a golden opportunity it was for Cuckfield to level things up, and they're going to make a change here as they search for that equaliser. Off goes Thomas McElvenny, and on comes the man in his place, number 98. That's Lex Duffy joining the attack. As the corner comes in, it's all the way through. Might come through to McIntyre, and he just swipes at the ball but doesn't make any contact. But here is Barton, and real pressure here from Cuckfield Cosmos as Matthews hooks it in. It's come off a Withdean head and then away, and there's another substitute as It was Peter Robert that made way for Withdean just a moment ago as well. And on in his place was number 3, Freddie Bond. Here is Bond, does well to flick the ball to Max Roberts. Looking for a forward pass back towards Bond, and he might have it here, but foul it was. It came across with the interception, but the player has been brought back for a foul earlier in the move. And we saw Harry Platel strike one from a similar range, a little bit closer last time when it struck the hands of Daniel King. This one much further out. In fact, it's right on the edge of the centre circle, but the wind is with the Withdean man. Here's Platel. Drives it forward, and it might come through to Wells. In fact, it was Browning, I think, trying to get on the end of it. Just couldn't quite keep his eye on the ball and make contact. Fairclough. He's throwing, looking for Roberts. He's cut out in the midfield. And then Wells prods it inside, but Matthews does well to make the intervention. And then away by Theo Purser towards Roberts, who takes a really nice touch, but just didn't quite bring it into his body enough. But he's got it here eventually, and goes down under a challenge there, and he's clutching his right ankle. Finley Horgan it was with the challenge, but the linesman nor the referee saw anything wrong with it. But Max Roberts seems to be in some pain here, just clutching, I think it's his ankle, it might just even be the left foot there. Max Roberts is just receiving some treatment and just flicking through the programme. His managers refer to his Bergkamp style in terms of his vision and passing in a final third. And a moment ago he did bring down a nice aerial ball, perhaps akin to the Arsenal and Netherlands legend, but he does seem okay to carry on, as Ralphie Browning just overruns that dribble there, but it might come through here to Bond. Trying to turn away was Zach Tobin, but away comes Farrell. Now McIntyre. Still McIntyre tries to find a ball forward to Hemmelrick, and away goes Roberts, trying to pressure Kay here, and it might come through to Roberts. He has got it here inside the area, but he's just forced out wide by Sam Kay, who did well eventually. It was a tricky one for Kay to deal with, running towards his own goal, and did well to get the tackle in on Max Roberts. Corner on the near side for Withdean. Cross comes in towards the near post, and it's cleared away. Then in with a sliding challenge, but the youngster from Cuckfield just manages to dodge out of way there. Now Nicholas. And then clipped forward by Max Roberts. And here is Roberts. Finds Freddie Bond. Tries to slip the ball forward, but Farrell was there to make the interception. Now Browning. And then again, there is Daniel Farrell. He's been really impressive all the way through this game so far. He'll be unfortunate to be on the losing side tonight if things stay as they are, with Withdean still holding that 1 goal advantage. Matthews plays it forward, and now McIntyre. There might be a chance here as McIntyre collected just on the right hand side of the penalty area, and then it comes off that man last. Theo Purser cut out in the midfield, and now Matthews has it. Sets it to Hemmelrick, who might break into the box here, but it's a really good challenge by Harry Platel there. There's Riley Hemmelrick just trying to get involved in some arguments there with Theo Purser, but Theo Purser just turning a blind eye to it. Hemmelrick clearly frustrated still as he tries to find an equaliser for his side with just under 10 minutes remaining here. Wells. His throw is flicked on, and Max Roberts will look to collect, but it's Barton, and then stepping away from it is Daniel Farrell, who's really driving out defence here, but now Ralphie Browning has, and there might be a gap in the defence here that Farrell has left, and it's breaking into the boxes with Dean. It's with Bond, who tries the low cross into the box, and I think it's going to be a corner kick. And forward come Harry Platel and Theo Purser with real purpose in their running. And I think that's Jesse Sutton who has come on for Withdean, number 16. But he will not be in a penalty area for this one, as Max Roberts looks to deliver towards Harry Platel, and he might fall in the box here. It comes to Ralphie Browning, and it's off the heel of a Withdean player in there who just couldn't quite turn on it as it hits the back of Hemmelrick. I think it was Freddie Bond down the other end. He couldn't quite get the finish way, and there's that brilliant first touch from Max Roberts, and now brings it forward but doesn't quite manage to find a teammate with the pass. As Sutton plays it down line to Roberts, who's then bundled to the floor by Sam Rees. Looks like there's going to be another substitution here for Cuckfield, and on comes number 11 for them. I would inform you of who the number 11 is, but unfortunately there was no 11 named on the team sheet for this evening's game, so apologies for that. Out of our control. As the cross comes in, just been told that it is Nicholas Carter for Cuckfield. It's not on the back of the programme, but might be a chance here for Freddie Bond with it, and it's a bouncing effort. There's held by Daniel King. Carter picks up the ball in the midfield, and now away come Cuckfield as they search for a late equaliser. Varchi Nicholas delivers a cross in towards Luca McIntyre, and it might fall for McIntyre here, and then prodded back towards his own keeper by the Withdean player. Barton takes it down. Across comes Ralphie Browning to make the interception and get there ahead of Samuel Rees. And off goes Zach Tobin to be replaced by Ali Renzo Novelli, who we of course saw in the first half. Can Cuckfield manufacture a chance in these last 5 or so minutes to take the game to extra time? As Max Roberts just trying to race and keep that ball in play, but Farrell did well to just shield the ball out of play. As Farrell just can't quite keep it in play. And it'll be Jesse Sutton with the throw-in. Urgency in Cuckfield's play now, as they'll be desperate to try and find something, as Roberts goes for it from range. I think he just saw Dan King off his line there. Browning goes into a challenge with Louis Matthews, who had a slightly high boot there, and Ralphie Browning perhaps fortunate not to take too much of a heavy knock there. He looks like he's okay, maybe slightly wounded there. Ralphie Browning, the captain, just over on his haunches there into the final 3 minutes. It's been a good performance from the Withdean captain, but I think we're just going to have a stoppage in play here as he awaits treatment. And on comes some physiotherapy equipment. Can see some loo roll coming out for the face of Ralphie Browning, so perhaps just a little bit of blood, perhaps. Difficult to see from where we're positioned, and the referee's very well placed to just block our view. And this will of course add time to the end of the original 70 minutes. We're approaching the final 2 or 3, but this is going to add on a similar amount, as Manny Rigg just keeping himself warm away to our right hand side in the Withdean goal. He's made a few crucial stops this evening, including that one from Louis Matthews, who think accidentally connected with Ralphie Browning's face hit. Still remains that Peter Robert goal in the first half that separates the two sides. After an exchange with Max Roberts, he pounced on that pass and ran through the middle and buried the chance into the bottom right hand corner. He's had another couple of opportunities as well throughout the game. His pace has caused the Cuckfield defence some trouble this evening. But Cuckfield have had their chances too. Louis Matthews having the biggest one. That was kept out by Manny Rigg. The boys are going to have to do well to keep themselves warm here. It's quite a lengthy stoppage right at the end of the 70 minutes and they'll be tired already. I think it's probably, looks like it's just a potential nosebleed, I think, for Ralphie Browning. Must have had contact from the boot of Louis Matthews. And just having to go through the supplies of that physio bag to rectify that. But he is back to his feet, is Ralphie Browning, and hopefully we'll be back underway for the final few minutes of this one. But at least it's good to see Ralphie Browning, the Withdean captain, back on his feet. Didn't seem to be too distressed by the challenge, just had that nosebleed which he had to deal with.
Referees indicated that there will be a minimum of 4 added minutes.
There'll be 4 additional minutes at the end of added time here, at the end of normal time, pardon me. Peter Roberts has come back onto the field of play. Still remains that it's his goal that at this moment in time has landed the trophy in the hands of Ralphie Browning and Withdean. As Robert takes it down well and now looks to burst away, but across comes Farrell and he makes another good challenge on the striker. But Max Roberts shows good awareness to make the interception. Hooked forward by Cartoni. Okay, just beaten to it by Roberts, but then manages to find a pass out towards Archie Nicholas, who doesn't quite keep that one in play. Roberts tries to flick round the corner, but Matthews can bring it away. Searching for Luca McIntyre, who skips away from Bond. But then Bond does really well to get back in there, but it's just a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge that McIntyre comes back out on top of. And it'll be a throw into Cuckfield Cosmos, quite far inside the Withdean half. Clip towards goal, and it might fall there almost for Lex Duffy. Just a couple of minutes left here of added time. Still 1-0 to Withdean in this cup final. Okay, just nicked of it by Roberts. And then fouled was Max Roberts. I'm sure Withdean will just take their time over this one as they look to run down the clock in the final few stages. Fairclough. His free kick's going to run all the way through for a goal kick and a chance for Daniel King to get the ball forward. And his kick forward finds Barton. It's going to be all the way back to Daniel King, who can take this one out of his hands, but a referee blows the final whistle, and after 70 minutes it is Withdean Youth who run out victorious here at Oakwood, and they win the Mid-Sussex Youth League Plate final. And it was that single goal from Peter Robert in the first half that decided the tie. A really close, well contested battle here on this Wednesday evening, and both teams can hold their heads high. It was a really good battle between two well drilled sides, and it is Withdean who come out victorious by 1-0. Both sides as they make their way over towards the trophy presentation area. as Mr. Brightside plays over the speakers here at Oakwood. It'll be a bright evening for Withdean, and perhaps a rather dark one for Cuckfield Cosmos as the rain does start to fall here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now begin with our presentation for this evening. Firstly, can we place on record our thanks to Oakwood for hosting tonight's final. Firstly, we'll start with tonight's man of match. This has been voted for by tonight's match officials. And they have decided that tonight's man of the match is Withdean Youth's number 17, Peter Roberts.
And Peter Roberts just named man of the match. We've been talking about him all evening. His pace really troubled the Cuckfield defence, and as I say, he's one player's player twice, and he's bagged the man of the match award tonight for his goal scoring performance.
And now match officials and both teams will collect their medals from league chairman Mr. Ryan Calver, starting with tonight's refereeing team, led by referee Mr. Colin Huckle, assistants Mr. Louis Tanner and Mr. Keith Ferguson. Mid-Sussex Youth League play runners up, Cuckfield Cosmos.
And a cheer goes up for Cuckfield Cosmos, who, despite being on the losing side tonight, really put in an admirable performance and were perhaps unlucky to not level things up. Special mention to their captain Daniel Farrell, who I thought was excellent tonight. Louis Matthews too. I'm sure there'll be plenty more to come from this young Cuckfield side.
And now introducing your under-13 League Plate champions, Withdean Youth.
And Withdean Youth come to collect their medals and eventually the trophy. A really good performance from them to keep the clean sheet and preserve that lead for a good 60 or minutes or so. And Peter Roberts with a limp there, but he ran his socks off, as did most of this Withdean side. It was tricky conditions tonight. The wind was really blowing. Now the wind has just started to rain, just started to come down here as well. And it's going to be Ralphie Browning to be presented with the trophy here. And Ralphie Browning lifts the trophy as Withdean Youth are the league plate champions. It finishes Withdean Youth 1, Cuckfield Cosmos 0. Thanks for joining us this evening in Oakwood for this Mid-Sussex League final between Withdean and Cuckfield. We hope you have a very good evening, and once again thank you for joining us and congratulations to Withdean.